Have you ever heard a story so chilling it makes the hair on your arms stand up? A tale whispered in the alleyways of Moroccan Medinas, a name that strikes both fear and a strange sense of reverence into the hearts of those who hear it. Aicha kandisha. Is she a terrifying demon, a seductive jinn who preys on unsuspecting men? Or is she a national hero, a symbol of resistance whose story has been twisted by time? Today, we're journeying deep into the heart of Moroccan folklore to unravel the enigma of Aicha kandisha. Let's start with the legend that has haunted generations. Picture this, a moonless night, a lone traveler on a deserted road. Suddenly, a figure emerges from the shadows. It's a woman of breathtaking beauty, her eyes captivating, her presence magnetic. This is Aicha kandisha. The traveler is mesmerized, drawn in by her charm. He follows her, completely under her spell, led to a secluded place, perhaps a cave, a river bank, or the dark swamps she is said to command. But as he gets closer, the beautiful illusion shatters. Her lovely human feet are revealed to be the hooves of a goat or a camel. Panic sets in, but it's too late. The legend says she then reveals her true, terrifying nature. She is no mere woman, but a powerful jinnia who lures men to their doom, feeding on their flesh and blood, leaving no trace behind. It's a classic cautionary tale, a horror story told to warn men against the dangers of temptation and to keep children from wandering off after dark. She became the ultimate bogeyman, a name invoked to ensure obedience. But what if I told you there's another side to this story? A version that paints Aicha not as a demon, but as a patriot. To understand this, we need to travel back in time, to the 15th century, a period of turmoil when Portugal was attempting to colonize Morocco. This is where the historical figure of Aicha kandisha emerges. Some historians believe she was a real woman, possibly a noble Moorish countess from Andalusia who had fled the Spanish Inquisition and settled in Morocco. Witnessing the brutality of the Portuguese occupation against her people, she was consumed by a desire for revenge. She was said to be incredibly intelligent and strikingly beautiful, and she decided to weaponize her greatest assets. According to this version, Aicha would use her captivating beauty to infiltrate Portuguese camps. She would enchant the soldiers, leading them away from their posts with promises of a romantic encounter. Once she had them alone and vulnerable, her mission would become clear. She wasn't seeking romance, she was seeking justice. She would eliminate the soldiers, one by one, striking fear into the hearts of the occupying forces. She became a ghost, a phantom menace that the Portuguese couldn't fight with swords or cannons. Her actions were so effective that she became a legend among her own people, a symbol of fierce resistance against a foreign invader. So, how did this valiant freedom fighter transform into a terrifying, bloodthirsty demon in the popular imagination? It's possible that the Portuguese, terrified and unable to capture her, started spreading stories to demonize her. They couldn't admit they were being outsmarted by a woman, so they painted her as an inhuman monster, a supernatural entity. Over centuries, as the story was passed down from generation to generation, the lines between the woman and the myth blurred. The historical heroine was swallowed by the folklore, and the tale of her resistance was twisted into a horror story. This dual identity is fascinating. On one hand, you have Aicha the jinnia, a malevolent spirit. On the other, Aicha the warrior, a symbol of national pride. And this complexity is reflected in her many names. She is known as Lala Aicha, with Lala being a title of respect for noble or saintly women. This suggests a revered figure, not just a monster. She's also called Aicha, linking her to the Nawa people of Morocco and their spiritual music and rituals, where she is sometimes invoked as a powerful, complex spirit, neither purely good nor purely evil. Another name, the Lady of the Swamps, ties her to wild, untamed nature, a liminal space between the human world and the spirit world. The most famous name, of course, is Aicha kandisha. The origin of kandisha itself is debated. Some believe it derives from the Portuguese word kandisha, meaning countess, which would support the theory of her being a noblewoman. Others suggest it has much older roots, possibly linking her to ancient goddesses of love and war. Like the Phoenician deity Astarte, this suggests her legend might be a tapestry woven from threads of history, ancient mythology, and local folklore. One of the most persistent elements in all versions of the legend is her weakness, fire. It is said that Aicha kandisha fears flames above all else. If confronted by a person holding a lit match or a torch, she is said to shriek and flee. This could be symbolic. Fire represents purity, light, and human civilization, everything that stands in opposition to the dark, chaotic, and wild nature she embodies in her demonic form. For those who believe the historical account, perhaps fire represents the destructive power of the invaders' firearms, or maybe it was simply a detail added to the legend to give people a way to protect themselves from her, making the story even more believable. Today, Aicha kandisha remains one of the most powerful and enduring figures in Moroccan culture. She is more than just a scary story. She represents the duality of the human experience, beauty and terror, seduction and destruction, resistance and oppression. She is a powerful female figure in a traditionally patriarchal society, whether feared as a demon or revered as a hero. Her power is undeniable. Her story has been explored in Moroccan cinema, art, and literature, constantly being reinterpreted for new generations. She embodies the untamable spirit, the wild feminine energy that cannot be controlled. Is she a monster to be feared or a hero to be admired? Perhaps she is both. Perhaps her story is a reminder that history is written by the victors, and that beneath the surface of every monster, there might just be a hero whose story has been deliberately forgotten or twisted. The legend of Aicha kandisha forces us to question what is real and what is myth, and to acknowledge that sometimes the most terrifying monsters are the ones created by our own history and fears. So the next time you hear her name whispered on the wind, remember the complexity of her tale. Think of the beautiful seductress with goat feet, but also think of the brave countess fighting for her people. The truth, as is often the case, likely lies somewhere in the murky shadows between history and legend. What do you think? Is Aicha kandisha a demon, a hero, or something else entirely? Let me know your theories in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think about this captivating figure. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into Moroccan folklore. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more stories that explore the hidden corners of history and myth. Turn on notifications so you won't miss our next adventure. Until next time, stay curious.